Happy Sunday, traders! Last week was a very interesting week. The stock market took a really positive response when J. Powell mentioned he may slow down rising the interest rate. Nasdaq, S&P 500 had a really significant bullish move after that. However, Thursday, Friday, the buying momentum is easing off. So are we going to see the bear market finishing right now? Somehow I don't think so. I think it is very near the bear market ending now. However, short term, when I checked the market this morning, individual stocks are still not performing as high as the indices right now. So where do we go from here? In this kind of market condition, as you saw last Wednesday when J. Powell said, okay, we may slow down rising the interest rate. And then on Friday, the job data came out hotter than expected. The market took a dive. So it shows that it's lack of momentum. So the buyers and sellers are having a real challenging time with each other right now. The plan going forward for me this week is keeping the trade size a little bit smaller than usual and also shorter term target than normal, because I found that is lack of direction in the market at the moment. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Ethereum did have a little bit of rally after the Fed meeting. However, definitely not as strong as the stock market. Do I think it is the bottom right now? Again, it's near, but I really need to see whether it's going to break a bit higher and stay higher, or are we going to have a drop lower before the bottom forms up. So every weekend I spend a few hours of my time to plan trading opportunity for the week ahead, and I like to broadcast that to my members for free. If you are interested in investing and trading, then I personally would kindly ask your support to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon, because this will really help us to continue produce content like this. Many thanks. Okay, I'm going to start off with the US indices. This is the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF. What we're seeing is now we're back to the top channel, okay? The big buying was on Wednesday, J. Powell. So we did see buying momentum increase, the volume increase, AD line all pointing upward. If you remember what I said last week, the AD line was not pointing upward. It was showing divergence, but now we have a slight change of picture. However, once the buying on Wednesday, we don't have much follow through. Okay, we have a hanging man bearish bar on Thursday. This looks like a bullish bar, actually is not. So, but because SPY only trade around US Open, which is around 7-8 hours, it's not a continuous chart like the future. So we need to dive into the ES1, the E-mini S&P 500 future to see more detail, okay? Looking at that, you can see is a reversal hanging man and another hanging man over there. So we definitely don't have the following through. Let me just point that for you guys. We definitely don't have any buying follow through. You can see around here. Let me just actually clean this to a bit better. So on Wednesday, big buying. Thursday, Friday, dropping. So you can see over here. And volume as well, big buying, and then now follow is, no following through on the volume. On the AD line here, yes, it's picking up, but certainly not picked up as much as SPY, okay? That's something that I need to look at, but I do want to be a buyer for the Santa Claus rally. If you know, around December time, banker likes to have a bonus. It's easy to buy than sell on indices. If I'm sure you agree with me. If not, leave your comment below, because apart from this year, most of my time I like to go long on S&P 500. I remember when I mentioned I'm selling it to one of the members, he was so shocked that I'm selling the S&P 500, but only this year. I rarely does it. I rarely do it anyway. So now I'm waiting for a small pullback back to this around this area, 3,900, and then I'll trade it long. But I don't think we are going to break this just yet. Okay, so keep it short term on the trade. So shorter term, yes, I still want to be a seller, but I will be using my intraday momentum selling strategy to do that. I have zero interest to do end of day at the moment. Okay, so small window, I still want to sell. However, it will be important to keep an eye in the new year. Will this break lower like this? We shall see anyway how it develops. But I do see it one more push, but not making a new low in that in the near future. So that's the plan on S&P 500. Moving on to QQQ, which is NASDAQ. I'm still in QQQS, believe it or not. I will look to close it when I have an opportunity to. Although we are looking like trying to break the resistance here, but we could just have a fake out like here, broke off and then drop. So perhaps stay below here. I will be looking to close my QQQS at this price. I'll be more or less just breaking even a tiny bit of profit. So unfortunately, sometimes trade doesn't go into my direction, but I still have to manage it. It's still part of my job, okay? AD line again is picking up volume wise. Yes, one big buying, but no following through on QQQ. Clearer picture, as I said, QQQ is not a continuous chart. We need to look at the future chart. You can see, I think picture is clearer. Let me just move this down. Big buying Wednesday, and then no follow through. So if price stay below the trend line, yes, I would think we could come back to test this area around the 11,700 area. Then I'll look to close my QQQS. Will I take it long? Perhaps, maybe. I could do. Standard clause rally. And then we shall see what happened in the new year. I still expect this to happen, at least to test around this 11,160 area. Okay, but that's in the near future. One chart that I want to show you is, I don't just look at one index. I like to look across the board. One particular index already showing a bit more weakness, which is Nikkei. You can see that definitely benefited by the Fed on Wednesday, come back to the resistance area. Thursday, Friday, stronger selling than the US indices. So use that and see what happened. If tomorrow morning I see price bounce below this 28,000 monthly pivot, then yes, I will be gearing up using short-term momentum to sell the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. Okay. Moving on to the Forex market. Picture definitely changed on the dollar. So we are breaking multiple support. So now, will I still want to buy? It's difficult. I will focus on the indice, but if price come back up to 106, I could still take it long to like a reversal back to the 108 area or somewhere around the 106 maybe, around here under the monthly pivot. Yeah, 107 area. So I could still do that because the COT data is still supporting a sell on Euro. But Euro really needs to, because at the moment it's breaking multiple resistance, okay? So if I do want to sell it, price needs to break this hanging man, stay below here, and then this very, very small window. If you don't trade intraday or you don't have the luxury of time trading intraday momentum, stay away. I wouldn't go and take a breakout on this daily bar and hoping you will get a 1-to-1. Hoping is not the greatest thing in trading. You should aim for something at least a 2-to-1, so higher risk to reward. That will compensate, your losing trade. Otherwise, stay away is actually a good choice. Not trading sometimes can be the best trading, okay? Protecting your capital. So dropping down to hourly, you can see a bit more detail. Really, I need to see this happen. Break, come back, maybe a daily pivot Tuesday. use that to advantage to sell it down to 103. So very, very small window, but at least that way when I use intraday, when price start breaking lower, I can move my stop. So just to protect myself, that's always my first priority to as a risk manager. So apart from that, actually dollar Swiss, surprise, is more cleaner than euro dollar. So you can see we are still in the support zone, trying to break, but hasn't broken yet. So dropping down to hourly, if I do see price break above the trend line, then yes, I look to be a buyer of dollar Swiss. So break above 94.40 first on dollar Swiss. Dollar yen, potentially I still could be a buyer of dollar yen. I know it's breaking multiple support, but you need to understand, although we are on a daily downtrend now, we are really late. So I don't want to be late. Never chase anyway. So if I can see price break above this daily bar, stay above, then I could take it long up to this area and then I may short it. But probably gold and silver may be an easier option to buy with, meaning that sell the dollar with. Okay. The rest, I have not much interest, so I don't want to go through. But if you do have any particular Forex pair that you want us to go through, drop me a comment. I'm more than happy to analyze or share my view for that. Moving on to the commodity. Oil, I said it wasn't in my interest, but seasonally around December time can be quite bullish. So two options, either come back for a triple bottom, inverse head and shoulder, whatever you want to call it. It's just a pattern, but around the 76.46, I like to, if we found a support, I like to be a buyer around this area, okay? Certainly take some profit at a monthly pivot. Maybe could go as high as around the 90 area. So that is my plan on oil. I do want to be a buyer, but perhaps tiny bit too early. In this situation, I don't want to sell because it's clearly we can see the selling momentum is easing off. So I want to be a buyer around the 76, or if you want to wait for it above 85 to do that. So it's totally up to you. Gold and silver, I don't want to buy right now. You can see big push and then Friday hanging man on gold. You know, a lot of people could read this as low test, but it's not low test. At the bottom, yes, a low test bar on a potential end of phase is called hanging man. It's actually a reversal pattern rather than a bullish pattern. So what I like to do is see price come back shallowly around this monthly pivot area, coincide with multiple support area. Then yes, I would like to be a buyer of gold because seasonally at the end of the years, it likes to rally a bit. Silver, arguable, is a bit cleaner. I'm not a massive silver trader, but it is more bullish than gold, so I could. So similar thing, come back to around the 2160, if I remember it right. Yeah, 221.30 area. Then yeah, I looked for good price action to go long on silver. Okay, how high we shall see. Maybe around this 26 area could be a potential on that. So silver is on the list to buy. Finally, cryptocurrency. I have a friend that I haven't seen for a year. He's actually my business mentor. He's been asking me, is it a right time to buy cryptocurrency throughout 2022? So at the early part of the year, I said, not yet. I think I'm planning to buy around 20,000. I didn't do that on Bitcoin. Why didn't I do that? Because it came too early. I remember it's around March or April time is already around 20,000. And then price action was not bullish, which I'm going to explain to you guys. Only very recently, he asked me again, probably about 2-3 weeks ago when the FTX drama happened. And I said, you know what? I'm actually gearing up to buy. You're like, really? That is probably the worst news you can hear in the market. Why would you gearing up to buy cryptocurrency? to be fair, I was actually waiting for something like that to happen. Not that, I do feel sorry for people that is holding the coins or losing money on paper right now. But market behavior on cryptocurrency are sentiment driven. So, driven by fear and hype. I never buy on the hype. I actually always look to sell when the best news in the market. And because 20,000, when I was analyzing it, I didn't feel like it was a bottom and it couldn't really find the right buying momentum in there. So I was actually waiting for something happen to break this. So FTX now really driven the price below 20,000. We're around 15, 16,000 area. Could we see a bottom form? Yeah, potentially. But we really need to see, I'm not a big fan buying it at 16,000. Could I buy it at 14, 15? Maybe. So let me get right into the chart and show you what I'm seeing right now. Okay, I want to start off with the Bitcoin future chart. As we saw industry rally, we haven't seen that on Bitcoin. Could we see a pop higher? Yeah, the picture of the COD data become a little bit... The COD data this week shows a little bit less bearish, but I'm still not convinced it's bullish. So we could see this happen and drop at least to test around here, maybe even break. So I'm still not buying right now because this is just not really sitting in a support area. If I go to the Bitcoin chart right now, but because I use the Bitcoin future just to show you the volume is not as great as the indices. In terms of Bitcoin, why don't I use this? Because it's not a centralized exchange, so it's very difficult to get a real actually data. So I'm actually going to switch off this volume right now. Go to a weekly chart. 20,000 was a support area. Now we are actually in a no man's land. So this is not much support and stuff like that. So could we see this is a bottom form? Well, I'm not buying. I could buy some around 15, but not the full amount. But I really want to buy something around the 13, 14 area. If not, you need to break higher and stay above this 20,000 for me to buy. Otherwise, no, I'm not really convinced want to buy a $17,000. Again, I could be wrong, but this is my trading system. I will follow it anyway. Yeah, I would like to, when I buy in 20, 15 or 12, 13, whatever it is, sticking to my plan. I'm not here to, after a quick few bucks, like in a week or two or days, not like that for Bitcoin. I'm happy to hold on to it for 2 to 3 years until the next bullish run to happen. But if you don't have a plan like this, then yeah, perhaps look to trade some of the altcoins. All right, so that's my plan on Bitcoin. I will go to Ethereum to show you the picture, clear up the chart again. Really and truly, this is just not much on a supply and demand zone, support resistant. It's just, again, a little bit of support around this 1,000 areas, but buying momentum is not as great as the indices dropping down to a daily. You can see it's just not much buying really. So could I see this drop? We could see a pop higher. It's not like, couldn't do that, and then boom, a drop lower. So I would like to see price drop one more time to around the 800 area, then I will be all over it. Okay, all over it, meaning I will be buying 50% or 60% of the allocated amount at 800. Would I buy 1,000? 10% of the allocated amount, and then I buy 50% of, at 800, under 800, whatever it is, then my average price is still under 900, so I'm happy to hold on to that. But to me, around this 1,300, 1,200, no, it's not the price to start investing on cryptocurrency just yet. I like to use Bitcoin and Ethereum as my main guide for investing on other altcoins. What is your method of investing in cryptocurrency? I'd love to hear that. If you leave your comment below, we can share that view together. Thanks so much for watching. That's all my plan this week. So trade cautiously because the market hasn't got a real direction in there. So I'll keep my trade intraday. So short term, I still want to sell the indices very short term, and I will turn into a buyer for the Santa Claus rally. Again, that is short term because December is not a month that you should gear up to trade. The whole month is Christmas season, so trader will be taking holidays around that period, which I am going to do that as well. So these 2 weeks I'll be still active trading, but intraday keep it short term. If you have any question, drop me a comment below. Otherwise, see you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching.